Beautiful and lovely gamers, my name is Jonal. Welcome to the first episode of Mailbox Monday, where I take your guys' questions, ideas, and whatever you guys want to ask me. If that is an idea to a build, or to a strategy, or tactic, or a video game, or just want my opinion something, just where you guys can have more casual and relaxed conversation. Of course, I would love to hear your opinions and your thoughts on each question down below, as we can have a discussion so we can learn from each other, so we can in general just have a positive community. If you want to ask questions, you can ask them in the comment section here, or, which I highly recommend, go to our Discord server, which is linked down in the description together with my Twitch and Twitter, and ask them in the hashtag Mailbox Monday chat room. So I hope I see you guys there, and again, tell me down below. So the first question that comes in is, thoughts on one tricks in Overwatch. Are you all good with them, or do you think one trick should be banned? Well, I think that one tricking right now it's 2-2 meta, right? So there's a limit for one trick. Of course, you can still one trick in each position. I think that one tricking in Overwatch is relatively damaging for the player itself. But besides that, I don't really mind. Like, again, as I've said beforehand, and what does it say when a private coach and a coach in general play the game, if you have a one trick on your team, I don't care as long as he, plays the game properly. I'd rather want to have a one trick that's decent than a flex player that doesn't, that's really, really bad. And that's always been my stance on it. I don't really care that much what people play, as long as they, don't throw and they try to play their best. I'm happy with it. And as long as they can perform decently, I'm happy with it. I don't really care much about one tricking, but I think it's damaging for the player individually, and that's my opinion. Number two, how is NA better than EU? How is EU better than NA? In my opinion, this is like, to take this serious, like, the question totally serious. NA, in my opinion, has far more comms, far more just talking to people, which can be nice. However, it's also like where you will end up in a lot of like roundabouts of people arguing about strategies and tactics, which is really funny because when I private coach people in gold, I'll hear like these weird discussions where none of the parties are right, and it's just like this, like, forward and backwards, which is really funny. And I think that's what NA has the strongest suit. Everybody speaks American, or at least most people speak American, and they talk and they have that interaction, which is a little bit more experience. While I think in EU, there's far more, focus on individual, like, plays and just skill, and they can be very silent voice chats, it can be very noisy voice chat, but then they can also be some real nice players in EU that I personally have met. In general, it's far more focused on just individual play than the general team play aspect. Question number 3, best comp for OWL at the moment. At the moment, we see a lot of May Reaper Bunker. The reason for that is just the absolute domination of May Reaper Hog. You can't dive it, you can't really play Deathball, you can't play Deathball into it, you cannot play Sigma into it. The only way to really stop it is to play your own bunker that mirrors. So right now, that is, by definition, the best team composition to play. There are other team composition that works with other, but it's normally bunker, with either a Hog or a Diva, and then you can swap around DPS, either May Reaper, or sometimes you see like Hanzo May, or you see some other variations of DPSs, but normally focus around having some form of, either a brawling style or some heavy DPS like double sniper. You still play it from time to time during scrims that I've seen, and so on. Number 2, what got me started with coaching in the first place? So I assume this is like, if you guys want to be coaches, what is my advice, and like what did it give me? I became a coach because I like helping people. That's why I have this YouTube channel. I love talking about games and strategies and tactics and helping people improve and giving people as much guidance as I can, both as gamers and also for personal stuff. Like, for example, if I get sometimes I've had some parents that have bought their, 12-year-old, 13-year-old kid, a session with me, and at that point I try to help him both right now, but also, in the future, and so on, So I like helping people. I think that's really, really fun. That's kind of one of my great strengths, my analytical abilities, of how analytical and how I like to break stuff down, which also ties into me being a programmer. And that's how I got started with code, because I love coaching. I like helping out people. While I love playing the game myself, I also knew that there was no way I was going to hit the OWL, just because I don't have the time to put into it, and I didn't have the skills as Overwatch from my very first competitive game. I had to learn a lot of things about just general FPS, so there was no way I could go pro as a player. So I decided that helping out people was a greater reward for me personally, and was also just something that would be easier for me to reach. And the last thing, to what degree does your PC and gear impact your gameplay? Is it impossible to reach a high level of play? No, is it possible to reach a high level play in Overwatch by using a toaster? Toaster, no, because there's no CPU. Are you dumb? No, but legit, gear in Overwatch, it is having good FPS like 60 plus, if possible 144, is decently important. Like at least having a stable FPS. Of course, gear help out. You know, being able to run the game at 300 FPS, stable, consistently all the time during teamfights and everything. You know, with what is it, like one of as high refresh rate on your monitor as possible, right, is the best, with enough arm space for your big mouse pad, and right, and so on. I think that the most important thing is to just have stable FPS, hopefully 60 or above, nothing under. Having a good mouse and hopefully some arm space to use said mouse, and a mouse pad that works with it. A gaming mouse, I use a Logitech G502, and a lot of people use that because there's a very, like, you can control the D-pad very nicely, and a decent headset. That's like that's the thing, in my opinion, that you need to play video games on a higher level. It does help to have better gear. It's much smoother. You don't stagger. You can be very consistent with aiming because there won't be frame drops, which really puts your aim up. Specifically the last one, having frame drops is really bad. So it does help a lot, but you can reach very high levels on really shitty computers. I played in Masters with my old laptop, which was, you know, ran at like the Overwatch, like anything between, you know, 40 and 70 FPS. I managed to hit Masters on that account, right? So it helps definitely to be on a better setup with the essentials of decent FPS, decent stable FPS, a mouse, and a good, decent headset so you can hear what's going on around you. It does help, but it's not a must unless you want to really be very serious about it. So yeah, that's my opinion on gear and stuff like that. As always, tell me down below what you guys think. What is your opinions on this stuff? I hope I guys see you guys' questions on our Discord server or in the comment section below, so we can hopefully so it doesn't have to be about Overwatch, can be about really anything. Yeah, and as always, guys, peace, take care, still stay positive. I love you guys very much, and as always, keep the enemy in your crosshair.